I'm Daniel Kleinknecht, Artistic Director of Cedar Rapids Opera. We're going to hear music from the cast of Giacomo Puccini's opera Tosca, sung by cast members and members of the Cedar Rapids Opera's Smith Young Artist Program. We'll present music from the opera and a few arias from the greater inherited operatic repertoire. Cedar Rapids Opera presents Tosca Friday, January the 19th at 7:30 p.m., and Sunday, January 21st at 2 p.m. in downtown Cedar Rapids at the Paramount Theater. This is a new production designed by Scott Olinger, staged by Gregory Keller, and I will conduct. Orchestra Iowa will be in the pit. Tickets for Tosca are available from artsiowa.com or by calling the ticket office at 319-366-8203. The cast of Tosca comes from across the United States, and the singers are here in residence in Iowa for these weeks of rehearsal and performance. Soprano Maria Natale, who sings the role of Tosca brilliantly, comes to us from New Jersey. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you here these weeks. You're getting a great fill of our weather.
I am.
That brings to a point that you have to travel from city to city. This week it's cold in winter, and then next time it might be sunny or hot in Florida. What made you choose this career of a traveling opera singer?
Well, I fell in love with opera at a very, very young age. I was 10 years old, and I knew I was going to be an opera singer. My grandfather was an opera singer and a Sicilian tenor, and I used to go over to his house, and it was very dark, and his whole house was completely dark, shades down, very cold inside, and opera blasting 24/7. So at a very young age, he told me he knew I was going to be an opera singer. He pointed and he said, you're going to be a singer. And he said that you will sing Tosca.
Oh my gosh. Well, what a prophetic uncle.
Yeah.
And it's
My
not
grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, and it's not your first Tosca, correct?
No, I just did it last season in California at Opera San Jose. It was a beautiful production, and I'm so happy to sing it again.
Well, it's a role that is so well suited to you. You, in rehearsal, sing this so stirringly well, and it's not just your singing that is fabulous. I mean, you create the character with your body and with your acting and singing, and it's really, really something. Is there something about the role that you find especially easy or difficult, or how does it feel to you?
For me, for this role, vocally, this role fits my voice very well. So that is surprisingly the easy part, is the singing. I feel the tessitura range fits very well for me. There's some difficult parts, but I find in the character of Tosca, the fiery parts are the easy parts for me, but finding the softer side of Tosca and finding time to turn off that crazy passion that she has I find that the most difficult. But it's a journey. You find that with every role you do, and you find the little intricacies, and every time you do that role, you find more and be more specific with your actions and your emotions.
Beautiful. Well, I agree with your grandfather that you could, this is a perfect role for you. And Vissi is the aria that Maria will sing for us today. To me, it's interesting that this aria falls almost dead center in the middle of the opera, in the middle of the second act. Well, a little toward the end of the second act. But it is like the heart and soul, the beating heart of the opera. This is Vissi d'arte, sung by soprano Maria Natale and accompanied by pianist Pedro Yanez.
Non
Cedar Rapids Opera's Smith Young Artist, tenor Han Jeong Wook, is our next singer. Welcome, Han.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kleinknecht.
It's great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hello, Iowa. My name is Han Jeong Wook, tenor from Seoul, Korea. I received my master's at Peabody Institute and currently work in DC and Maryland area. I'm having great time with my colleagues, singers here at Cedar Rapids Opera Young Artist Program. And lastly, I'm an understudy of Cavaradossi in this coming production.
Excellent. And I heard you audition in New York. It was a splendid audition. And this is tenor Han Jeong Wook singing Ah, mes amis from Donizetti's La Fille du Regiment with pianist Pedro Yanez.
Mes amis, quel jour de fête, je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux. À mes amis, quel jour de fête, je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux. L'amour qui m'a tourné la tête, désormais me rend un héros. Ah, quel bonheur! Oui, mes amis, je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux, je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux. Oui, celle pour qui je respire, oh, me fait araignée sourire. De ce doux espoir de bonheur trouble ma raison et mon cœur. À mes amis, quel jour de fête, je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux. À mes amis, quel jour de fête, je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux. Je vais marcher sur vos drapeaux, je vais marcher. À mes amis, je vais marcher sur vos
Cedar Rapids Opera's Smith Young artist, baritone Russell Hoke comes to us from Chicago, Illinois. Welcome,
Good
Russell.
morning.
Good morning. It is morning, isn't it? As a young artist, what is it about the process of working in an opera company, assembling an opera, that you find appealing?
Putting together and all the discoveries that you find during the rehearsal process is really where all the magic happens for me. I'm a repetition guy, so all these repetitions that we do in the rehearsal process, finding the nooks and crannies of not only the character but of the score, and all of the intentions that we think that the composer, these little Easter eggs that he set out for us, finding all of these little bits and pieces. That's my favorite part.
What an interesting way of talking about it. A little Easter egg, a little gem, finding a gem in the process. I love that. This is baritone Russell Hoke singing O du mein holder Abendstern from Richard Wagner's opera Tannhäuser.
Das Tal mit schwärzlichem Gewande, der Seele, die nach jenen verlangt. Vor ihrem Flug durch Nacht und Grausen bangt. Da scheinest du, o lieblichster der Sterne, dein sanftes Licht entsendest du der Ferne. Die nächt'ge Dämmerung teilt dein lieber Strahl und freundlich zeigst du den Weg aus dem Tal. O du mein holler Abendstern, wohl grüßt dich immer dich so gern. Vom Hälsin das ihn nie verriet, grüße sie, wenn sie vorbei dir zieht, wenn sie entschwebt dem Tal der Erden, ein selger Engel dort zu werden, wenn sie
Callie Meikrantz is a Cedar Rapids Opera Smith Young artist who comes to us from Boston, Massachusetts. Callie, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. So I am living in Boston, Massachusetts at the moment, but I'm actually originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan, so not too far from here, but first time in Iowa. And in the opera, I am covering the role of Tosca as well as singing in the chorus. And yeah, it's been just a great start to the year to work on this beautiful music with a lot of wonderful artists.
And how did it happen that you auditioned? You just came down from Boston to audition for me in New York.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for being here in this cold. You probably are okay with the cold since you come from Michigan. This is soprano Callie Meikrantz singing Donna Elvira's aria "Ah, chi mi dice mai" from Mozart's Don Giovanni. Up next is tenor Chaz'men Williams-Ali. Welcome, Chaz.
Hello, hello.
It's so great to have you back. You're no stranger to this community, having lived in Iowa City and studied singing there at the University of Iowa, and even having performed for this company several or many times. And you were here this summer when it was, how many degrees warmer was it then in August?
Quite a bit. It was the hottest part of the year. I think it was like 104 or 105 on the hottest day.
So you've been here in the last 6 or 7 months in the coldest days and the hottest days.
That's right.
Welcome back.
That's right.
You've had a great career, and your cavaradossi in these rehearsals is so moving. You're singing like $1 million. And this is not your first cavaradossi.
No, I did this a while back in Milwaukee at a theater called Skylight Music Theater. And we actually did it in English. And we had a really cool concept where
Tosca and Cavaradossi, their love language was Italian, so the arias and a couple of moments between us got to stay in Italian, but Scarpia only sang in English, and we only had it was a really cool project. But it's really nice to come back to this with the beauty of the piece, but also the beauty of the libretto in Italian. It's really, really, really wonderful.
Haven't you had to step in at the last minute for
Rodolfo.
And
Rodolfo,
where
and
was that?
That was at the Glimmerglass Festival. Yeah, my wonderful colleague, he emailed me and says, "Hey, man, I'm in the hospital. How about Rodolfo tomorrow?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, like, let's first make sure you're okay, and then, oh my goodness, I'm singing Rodolfo at Glimmerglass." You know what I mean?
Oh wow! What? Well, an unfortunate treat. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
but it
call
was
that.
He
happens.
turns out he's so totally okay. He finished the run. I did 2 shows, and he did the rest, and it was fantastic.
Well, you're having such a great career singing at the Met, Washington National, English National Opera, Dutch National Opera. Before you sing for us, will you tell our listening audience maybe one high point from your musical journey from the time that you were in Iowa City, and maybe one that happened after you left?
Yeah, so I mean, there are so many moments for me in Iowa City, but I will actually point out, I was a young artist here at the Cedar Rapids Opera in 2008, and I don't know if that year means anything to anybody, but we had this little water issue that kind of happened, and I just remember, almost the entire Young Artist program in Cas sandbagging together with the community, like we were out in it, and we ended up doing our Aida in the high school.
We did.
And I'll never forget that, because the music was still just as fantastic. The performances were still great. And it was like, the venue may change, but the art is still the art.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that.
I think a lot of us won't forget. That was a big flood,
That was
wasn't
a
it?
big one.
Oh
And
my
as far as after Iowa, I'll have to. I originated a role at Opera Theater St. Louis of Spinner in Fire Shut Up in My Bones, and that was such a fantastic experience to work with that company. I'm originally from St. Louis, so that was
of
also
course.
like a homecoming. But to work with Terrence Blanchard, who's been, a hero of mine in the jazz world, to do that, and then I was actually able to cover that role at the Met. So I was there for the first opera written by an African American composer. And so I was very proud of that moment.
Of course, wow. And is that how you first worked with Greg Keller? Was that at the Met or?
Close. So at that same time, I actually made my debut at the Met in Meistersinger, the Wagner, and Greg was on the Meistersinger. So when he first saw me, he says, "Oh, meine kleine Meister," So it's really cool. Yeah, he and I worked together in some Wagner, believe it or not.
Oh, how exciting. Well, it's great to have both of you back working together in this production. And we are really excited now to hear Chaz singing Cavaradossi's third act aria from Tosca, E lucevan le stelle.
Lucevan le stelle, alezzava la terra, stride all'uscio dell'orto, e un passo sfiorava l'arena, entrava in la fragrante mi cadea fra le braccia. O dolci immagini la vita.
Soprano Gwenyth comes to us from Indiana University, where she's a student of Jane Dutton. Welcome, Gwenyth.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. You're going to be singing an English aria for us after you hear me out from the opera Glory Denied. Could you give us a little context for how the aria fits?
Yes. So as you mentioned, this is from Glory Denied, which is based on the true story of America's longest-held prisoner of war, Colonel Jim Thompson, and his wife Alice. While Jim was held prisoner in the Vietnam War, his wife Alice believed him to be dead and had to move forward with her life, including getting remarried. So after nearly a decade of being held captive, Jim returned home, and this aria takes place the first time that they see each other, and Alice has to tell him what's happened.
Excellent. Great. Well, we are looking forward to now hearing soprano Gwenyth singing After You Hear Me Out with Pedro Yanez at the piano.
After you hear me out, if you don't want me around anymore, I'll take my coat and go.
Next, we have a young artist, Andrew Boisvert. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Andrew.
Sure. So I'm graduated from my master's. I just recently graduated from the University of Maryland, and before that I was at the University of Hartford. I've been enjoying doing young artist programs, and it's a pleasure to work with Cedar Rapids for the first time.
Well, it's great having you here, and you're very bassy today, and I understand you are going to give us the pleasure of some Carlisle Floyd, I'm a Lonely Man, Susannah, from Susannah.
I'm a lonely man, Susannah, and ever now and then it seems I gotta have somebody I can love like other folks do, 'cause it's a lonesome work I do. Mary, would it be in heaven? And there's a little reward here below. But ever now and then I near go mad. I need a woman so. I'm a lonely man, Susannah, and made out of flesh and blood and bone, and I need somebody I can love like other folks, 'cause it's a lonesome work I do. Will your brother be home tonight? Let's go inside.
Now let's welcome mezzo-soprano Deirdre Lahiff.
Thank you so much.
It's so great to have you here in Iowa for this production of Tosca. And can you tell us a little bit about the aria that you're going to sing for us?
Yes, so this is from Massenet's Werther, and this is the character Charlotte's aria, and follows the famous letter scene. So Charlotte is an eldest daughter and bears the weight of responsibility to marry well, provide for her family, and she has a brief but passionate encounter with the poet Werther, but duty-bound, she ultimately ends up marrying her intended Albert. And so with this aria, Charlotte attempts to hide her pain from her younger sister Sophie, who has just happened upon her rereading these love letters from Werther.
And you are from New York.
I am.
Or you live in New York. Great. Well, it's going to be a pleasure to hear you sing the aria Va, laisse couler mes larmes from Jules Massenet's opera Werther.
Ma chérie,
Next, we turn to tenor Benjamin Lynn. Welcome, Benjamin.
Hello, thanks for having me again.
Oh, it's our pleasure. This is your second time singing with Cedar Rapids Opera.
Yes, sir.
This past summer, you were singing a delightful Rinuccio for us in Johnny Schicchi at Bruce Moore, and now you're singing Spoletta. Compared to singing Rinuccio, how's it different? Same composer, but two quite different roles.
Rinuccio was this young romantic, very beautiful line, and Spoletta's kind of a goon. So I have to make him sound as one, and much shorter lines too for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Terrific. Yes, well, you do have two contrasting characters here that you presented. So this is tenor Benjamin Lynn with pianist Pedro Yanez performing the Worm Aria from The Ghosts of Versailles by John Corigliano.
Lord
Next, we have Cedar Rapids Opera Smith young artist, mezzo-soprano Emily Rich. Welcome, Emily.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I'm initially from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm currently based in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
So the weather isn't a stranger to you, the snow.
Definitely not, no. I went to Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for my undergraduate degree in voice. Then I continued to pursue my master's at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana.
And who did you study with? Who were your teachers?
I studied with Dr. Brian Horn.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you here, and we're going to look forward now to your singing an aria from Der Rosenkavalier. This is soprano, mezzo-soprano Emily Rich singing Wie du warst from Richard Strauss' opera Der Rosenkavalier with pianist Pedro Yanez. To close out is baritone Norman Garrett, who sings the role of Scarpia. Welcome, Norman.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. The New York Times, I read your bio online, and it says, from one of your performances, I'm not sure which one. It says you were scene stealing. And, you know, I can see that that would be true, as I remember you from your early days when you sang here in a couple of pieces. You sang the Herald in Othello with Bodo Egesh, and let's see, Alan Glassman was the Othello.
Yes.
And you sang the Pirate King in Pirates of Penzance, and I have this vision of color, just a wash of moving fabric, and I think it was an actively staged
Very
Pirates
active.
of
Very active.
Penzance. And then you reminded me of the Bartered Bride, in which you were asked to leap over some people. This was Jerry Dolcher staging.
Yes,
and,
it was.
And you were able to do it and
I
sing.
was, not anymore, but I was able to do it once upon a time.
Yeah. You're an active singer.
Very.
So do you know what the New York Times was in reference to? Which piece?
I don't remember, actually.
Yeah. Well, your career has taken you to the Metropolitan Opera, to Chicago Lyric, San Francisco, Houston, all of the major companies in the United States. So I wonder, could you tell us something, like one high point, one or two high points of your career as you've really stepped up?
One thing that was really cool, I was very young. I just signed with my agent, and he was like, "Hey, are you interested in Carmina?" And I was like, "Sure." And he was like, "Well, it's at the Hollywood Bowl." So I did my first Carmina at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was like 14,000 people.
Oh my
and
gosh.
like Snoop Dogg was there the night before.
No way.
It was insane. It was insane.
Did you meet him?
No.
Oh.
But it was cool. It was cool. Yeah. And another highlight is actually upcoming. I'm gonna have my Carnegie Hall debut in another Carmina Burana.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
what date is that?
That is February the 28th or 7th, I want to say, in New York City. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to come.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could ask you one other question. What would it be? So now you're living in Philadelphia.
I am. Yes.
Yeah. And I remember reading in the Philadelphia Inquirer one time that you did a pop-up. I think you were a student at Curtis then.
I was a student at AVA.
At AVA?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, okay.
No, that's okay.
Uh-huh, yeah. Well, it's a real pleasure to have you here for the Scarpia. Really excited. So we're going to finish off today with baritone Norman Garrett as Scarpia, and we'll have some chorus members who already sung for you tonight, this afternoon, as the chorus. And this is the finale of Act 1's Puccini's Tosca, Va Tosca.
Tre sbirri, una carrozza, presto, seguila dovunque vada, non visto, proveni. Palazzo Farnese. Va, Tosca. Nel tuo cuore sanita Scarpia. Va, Tosca. E Scarpia che scioglie a volve il falco della tua gelosia. Quanta promessa nel tuo pronto sospetto. Nel tuo cuor sanina Scarpia. Va, Tosca. Tendo il voler Preziosi quelli occhi vittoriosi vede la fiamma languidir con spasimo d'amor fra le mie braccia il languidir d'amor l'uno al capestro l'altra fra le mie braccia. Tosca, mi fai dimenticare te.
You've just heard the cast of Cedar Rapids Opera's Tosca in excerpts. Performances are January 19th and 21st at the Paramount Theater. This is Daniel Kleinknecht, and we'll see you at the opera.